So the summer transfer window ended about 2 weeks ago now, and I decided to put together a team that in my opinion consists of the best 11 signings across Europe's top 5 leagues. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with the goalkeeper, I personally think Nick Pope was the best signing out of any club across the big 5 leagues. Newcastle United picked him up for a fee of around £10 million from relegated Burnley. Now I understand that being signed from a team that got relegated isn't the greatest of signs, especially if you're the goalkeeper, but I think Burnley getting relegated was more to do with the players in front of Nick Pope rather than Pope himself. Personally, I think the price they paid for him is an absolute steal considering his quality, and although it's still early days in his Newcastle career, I think that quality has already been shown. He's won man of the match in a couple of the games he's played, and as a reason why Newcastle only conceded 6 goals in only 6 Premier League matches, with 3 of those coming in their game against Man City. He was also nominated for Premier League Player of the Month in August, and if that isn't a testament to his quality, then I don't know what is. Newcastle improved massively after their takeover in the middle of last season, and smart signings like Nick Pope on a 4-year deal should help elevate their club even more, and I'm expecting them to get European football this season, or at least put up a strong challenge for it. I'm going to give an honourable mention to Bernardo as well. I think that was a great pickup for Fulham. They got him for £3 million plus 5 million add-ons, which is a ridiculously good price. Yes, he may have lost his starting spot at Arsenal last season, but that doesn't mean he's a bad goalkeeper. Now, as an Arsenal fan myself, I'll admit that he does have his flaws, but at the end of the day, he's a great shot stopper, and for Fulham, a newly promoted side, to sign a goalkeeper who signed every match for Arsenal over the past few years for that cheap makes it hard to not give this signing a mention. Moving on to the left back in this team, it's a tough choice between Nuno Mendes and Marc Cucurella, but I think I'm going to go with Nuno Mendes here. He was permanently signed by PSG this summer, but was at the club this season prior to this on loan for Sporting Lisbon, where he had an impressive debut season, was part of the Ligue team this season by the end of it. Considering he's only 20 years old, but is already one of the best left backs out there, I think it was a great bit of business by PSG to permanently sign him, and the price was decent too, with them reportedly paying €40 million for him, which is fair for a player of his quality and age. Now in terms of the centre backs, the first one I'm going to mention is Antonio Rudiger, who signed for Real Madrid for free this summer. When Rudiger first came to Chelsea, he wasn't exceptional, but under Tuchel has developed to become a top class centre back and was part of the Chelsea side that won the Champions League in 2021. Chelsea were looking to hold on to Rudiger, but he didn't sign a new contract, which left him as a free agent, and Real Madrid picked him up. He's done pretty well for Real Madrid so far, and recently got his first goal for the club in a Liga match versus Mallorca, so it's safe to say the signs point towards Rudiger being a solid signing by Madrid, hence why he's part of my team with the best signings this transfer window. The other centre back I'm going to include in this team is Jules Koundé, who signed for Barcelona from Sevilla this summer. Koundé has been one of the best centre backs in La Liga for the past couple of years, despite him still being pretty young, as he's currently only 23 years of age, and I feel like under Xavi he'll flourish. Chelsea were strongly linked to him, but Barcelona managed to convince him to join, and I think he'll do great for them. And what makes this signing even better is that they bought him from Sevilla, who finished 4th in the league last season, only 3 points behind Barcelona, meaning by signing Koundé, they're weakening the competition while strengthening their own team. He's only played a couple games for Barcelona so far, and although he's been played at right back, even though he's mainly played as a centre back his entire career, he's managed to get 2 assists, which is decent for a defender, and both of these assists were against Sevilla and a 3-0 win over his old club. The right back in his team is going to be Jonathan Claus, who joined Marseille this summer from fellow Ligue team RC Lens. I personally think this is a great buy by Marseille. Claus has been a standout performer in that Lens side the past couple of years and was part of the Ligue team this season, and the season just gone by. And with Marseille finishing 2nd in Ligue last season, signing someone like Claus, who's proven in Ligue and should help them compete with PSG for the title. Jonathan Claus is a bit of a late bloomer, but nonetheless is a quality player, hence why he was called up to the French national team earlier this year for the first time ever at the age of 29. Marseille reportedly paid under €10 million for him as well, which is a great price as he's helped the defence quite a bit, with them only seeing 4 goals in 7 matches they played, which is joint lowest alongside PSG. Moving on to the midfielders, the first one I'm going to mention is Aurelien Tchouameni, who left Monaco to join Real Madrid, and what a fantastic signing this is. Real Madrid have had some glory years with Kroos, Modric and CazR in the midfield, but with all 3 of them, Adrian and Casemiro leaving for Man United this summer, they had to start thinking about the future and what players to buy for the midfield, and they went ahead and signed one of the best, if not the best midfielder of his generation, in Aurelien Tchouameni. Madrid also bought Camavinga last year, another young French midfielder with potential to become one of the world's best, so the French connection here should help Tchouameni settle into his Real Madrid side, and once he does, Madrid will become an even scarier opponent to face. They won La Liga and the Champions League last year, and by signing the likes of Tchouameni, I feel like they have a strong chance to do the same this year. The second midfield I'm going to include is Lucas Paqueta, who signed for West Ham this summer from Lyon. Paqueta has been a staple of the Brazilian national team midfield ever since he made his debut for Brazil in 2018 and won Copa America with Brazil in 2019, and has also done really well for Lyon since he signed for them back in 2020. He's a very good attacking-minded midfielder, and a lot of people expected him to move to a Champions League club this summer, so West Ham getting him is a great coup by them. They have ambitions to get European football for the 3rd season in a row, and I feel Paqueta could be the man to help them achieve this target, although after West Ham's poor start to the season, that does appear to be a more difficult target to achieve than it did before the season started. Regardless, I think Paqueta's a great signing by West Ham, and I think there's a pretty good chance he'll live up to €60 million fee they paid for him. The third midfielder I'm going to mention is the CazR, who made a move to AC Milan this summer from Belgian side Club Brugge. He's 21 years old but very talented, and in a handful of games he's played for Milan has been deployed as an attacking midfielder, although he was mainly played as centre forward back at Club Brugge and occasionally played on the wings. He was one of the best players in the Belgian Pro League over the past year and had a great game in a 1-1 draw against PSG in the Champions League last season, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on in the Serie A for AC Milan, who won the league last season, and a sign of the CazR could help AC Milan retain the title for a 2nd season running. For the left winger in this team, I'm going to pick Claus, who joined Leverkusen from Sparta Prague a few months back. Now of course I could have gone with Sterling to Chelsea or maybe even Mane to Bayern, but I'm a big fan of this signing. Claus turned 20 a couple months ago and hasn't got off to an amazing start for his new side, but I'll put this down to his age and him adapting to a new league, and I think after some time has passed he'll prove to be a solid signing by Leverkusen. During his time at Sparta Prague, he made 143 appearances and scored 48 goals and assisted 36, which is 84 goal and goals in total before he had turned 20, showcasing his talent. Leverkusen paid around €12 million for him and will likely get a few years of good service out of him before they then sell him for a profit. For a right winger, I'm going to go with Rafinha, who joined Barcelona from Leeds United. Rafinha played a big part in these avoiding relegation last season, with his 11 goals and 3 assists in the league, which are good numbers for a winger playing in the Premier League. Both Arsenal and Chelsea wanted to sign him, but Rafinha's priority was always joining Barcelona, and I feel like because he was so determined to sign for Barca, he'll try even harder for the club every time he's on the pitch, and I'm expecting big things from him in La Liga. He's played just over 300 minutes for Barcelona in La Liga and has had a couple goal contributions, which isn't sensational, but I'm sure as he adjusts to La Liga, he'll start scoring and assisting more. Now finally, I'll move on to the striker in his team, and who else could it be but Erling Haaland? This guy was very good at Salzburg, proved himself on an even bigger stage at Dortmund, and has now come to Man City and is boss in the Premier League, with him reaching the 10-goal milestone in just 6 games and getting back-to-back hat-tricks. As well as this, he's managed to get 3 goals in 2 games in the Champions League for City, which has taken the Champions League goal tally to 26, despite him only playing 21 games in the Champions League and being 22 years old. When you take all this into consideration, as well as the fact that City got for only 60 million euros for release clause, this deal was by far the best of the summer and could end up going down as one of the best signings of all time. Man City have been the best team in England the past few seasons, and then Haaland to their team is only going to strengthen them, and he could be the key to them breaking their Champions League cards, I guess you could say. The guy's fast, powerful, and has world-class positioning, movement, and finishing, which will only get better under Pep Guardiola. And with this in mind, I think it's safe to say they have a good chance of finally winning the Champions League this season. Anyway, that is my team of the best 11 signings this summer. If you made it this far and enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're already, and watch out, comment an opinion on the players I included here. With that being said, have a good one, guys. See ya.